There is keys to harmonicas. Yes. You didn't know that?
No, I mean, I guess I kind of knew, but
Oh, yeah.
hang on, let
Because
me
you
see.
got it. You can't play just a regular harmonic. If you have a key of a G harmonica and you're singing a song in D, you can't do that. You have to have your harmonica that goes with it.
I guess is C a key?
Yes, it is. There you
Because
go.
this is made in China. So I'm guessing it's a
Okay.
C. I don't
It's
know.
a C.
No, wait, hang on. Does it say it on the harmonica?
It will say it. It should. Mm-hmm.
Mary, I can't see my eyes. Can you
Uh,
read that?
okay. Move to your hand to the right a little bit. To the right. Oh, okay. Then maybe to the left. We're backwards here.
I don't care. Whatever.
I don't know, but well, that sounded good. Is that our theme song? Is that our opener?
You're the musician in this duo and the funny one. I don't even know
Yeah,
why
I
I'm
know.
a part of this.
Well, why
But
don't we just play our old one? We could do that.
do you have it? I don't even know if I have it.
I have it. I have it on a CD,
All right, well,
but
you
I
have to
don't
send
have
it
it.
to
Yeah,
me. Okay.
I will get it. Okay. I will get it for us and we can open up the show. And you know what? And maybe that'll be fun because we'll get Tony T on here every once in a while just to say hello, bring him back, and get Freddie on here. I've had a lot of people approach me this week. Well, anyway, do you want to introduce who we are?
We're Momma McKenna. About 21 years ago, we were fired from Cat Country 94 in Wilkes-Barre.
Yeah.
And Joe Paragon always made the suggestion, you guys should do a podcast.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what a pod was or a cast was or a blog or any of that crap. We were just trying to kind of see our way through. And eventually it came to the point where, well, you need to make money and pay your rent and I need to feed my family. So we just kind of, we professionally drifted apart, but we've always remained friends. And we've been friends since, I don't know, I think I met you when I was 7 years old or something like that.
Yeah. And then eventually we're going to have to, once we figure out all the camera situation and everything like that, we will share pictures of me meeting you at 7 years old, because I do have those pictures of you in your little black pants and your green vest and your little tap shoes, because we were Irish dancers together.
That's right. I had big giant shamrocks on those tap shoes and buckles and shamrock. You can't, now they come out with Crocs, right? They call them gibbets. I'm actually wearing a pair of Crocs. I swore I'd never get a pair of Crocs.
Don't tell me you got into the Croc phase.
Okay.
Oh, dear God.
But these are Luke Combs Crocs.
Okay.
And they're fur lined.
Oh, my goodness.
Now I'm wearing socks with my Crocs because I don't want to ruin the fur line too much.
Right. You don't want stinky fur lined Crocs.
Right. Yeah. Who needs that? Yeah. There's not enough Febreze in the world.
No, there's not. I sat next to you for years, right across from you there.
By the way, the Momma McKenna podcast powered by Febreze.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, guys, if you want to join us.
For some reason, I don't know why it's all like air freshening stuff that's sponsoring us, but I think we've got it in there.
Why not?
Yeah.
So while we're doing this, it is snowing. The media is losing their mind. As we speak, the Northeast is under attack by snow flurries. Hey, guess what? It's the winter in the Northeast. This is not our first freaking rodeo, for God's sake. So you're in the Philadelphia area, and you had to drive down from like the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area today, or yesterday.
Last night.
What was your trip like?
Trip was nothing yesterday. Barely even. I ran across no snow at all. Woke up this morning here in Philly with just 3 inches of snow on the ground, basically, and went out to clean my car off at about noon, and then that's when the hail started and the sleet. So
hail, you guys got hail?
Yeah, sleet and freezing rain, basically. So,
right. So I'm about 100 miles to your west, and we ended up getting more snow, like the fine kind of nasty snow. And it to me, I don't know if you've experienced this, but when you have the big giant flakes, it doesn't accumulate too much. It's that tiny little grain of sand crap. That's the stuff that starts to really pile up.
That's right. And it's funny, the tiny people. It's the tiny people that really
annoy me, people. Right? The wee people. You got to watch out for the wee people.
But us bigger ones, we're the ones that you really want around, right?
Right. Yeah. We're comforting and funny.
Well, yeah, because we're supposed to get, I'm looking out my window now, but we're supposed to, this is the brunt of it's supposed to come tonight and into tomorrow. But I was listening to one of our old shows that you posted up on Spreaker this past week. Yeah. And it's funny where you yelled at me because I love storms, whether it's rainstorms, snowstorms. That could be my everyday. It doesn't matter.
I did. You were so excited. And I was just like, what are you talking about? This is terrible.
No, this is the best weather ever. So
But I
I
think
just
that's
love it.
one of the charming things about our little program is we're just real people, and your glass half full. And I'm like, who's drinking my beer?
Yeah. And most of the time it's me, because that's why I'm so happy and everything.
Speaking of,
Who's drinking your beer? But speaking of, yeah, everybody was asking about you this weekend. I had to go up for a drive-by baby shower. If you know, those are the popular things now
yeah,
for birthday parties, drive-by and everything. So I went to a baby shower this weekend, and people were asking about, I stopped by Cafe 99 at Huns to pick up some food, and had dinner at Dookie's, and all the mainstay places with Patty's. And so it was fun just talking with everybody, and asking me how the podcast was going. I said, well, we only had like our one session that ended long. That was lasted longer than we thought. I said, that wasn't even supposed to be. We were just kind of doing a test run. And an hour and 20 minutes later, I'm saying, oh, got to run. But yeah, I
by the
said,
way,
just like,
when we did the radio show, that was probably the longest that you ever stayed in the studio at one point, because I got to go for a
yeah.
minute. Where's Mary? I don't know. She'll be back.
Yeah, yeah, especially you get a long song on there. Whoop, gonna run to the bathroom. I knew exactly what, I did. It's funny. I never really much accounted for time and everything like that. But when you're in radio, you actually learn like that you can get a lot done in 3 minutes and 27 seconds. Um, if in a normal day life and somebody said, well, you have 3 minutes to do that, I say, well, I'm just going to sit here and wait for you because I'm not going to move. But when in radio, you had to get stuff done in between songs while they were playing.
Yeah,
And you knew 3 minutes was a long one, 3:50, that's a
absolutely.
long song. And that's why all our rock buddies loved Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, especially when at one point you in the radio business, you'd be able to play a song on we call it a cart tape,
Yeah.
but if you don't know what that looks like, it's like an old 8-track.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd stick that 8-track in there, and it would have one song on it, and you'd hit start. And if it was an 8-minute song, you had a little time.
Yeah.
But if it was a 2.5-minute song, you'd have to
Yeah.
you'd have to rearrange the playlist.
I know. Yeah. You'd plan your bowel movements around an 8-minute song.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
there you go.
And even back in the day when it was on record, you'd like, okay, you drop the needle and you'd hope to God the record didn't skip. Please tell me somebody didn't put their coffee cup on this piece of vinyl.
Every day at 7:15 after your coffee, you'd put Stairway to Heaven on and you'd go rock it. You'd have a lot of fun with that.
It's
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
My recently my regular work schedule day has changed. I used to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for the past pretty much 25, 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been moved to the afternoon show. So now I wake up at about 8, kind of,
Ooh,
yeah,
you're
just
sleeping in.
I know, right? And
Yep.
I figure I'm going to be on until 7 o'clock at night. So what the heck? So I'll have breakfast or whatever, and I sit in through a couple of meetings, and almost like clockwork, 10:30, I got to put Stairway to Heaven on.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not on the air yet, I still feel like I need to.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of my joke my dad used to tell me about the guy that goes to the doctor. I don't know why I thought about this. The guy goes to the doctor and says, doctor says, what's wrong? He goes, well, every day I have a bowel movement at 7:30 in the morning. And doctor says, well, what's wrong with that? He goes, I don't get out of bed till 9. Oh my God. The things you can remember just from a little trigger of something in the conversation. Oh, by the way, I brought my can you see it? My Eagles
Yeah.
up just because I know what a Steelers fan you are. Now I'm not gonna say I'm a Steelers and an Eagles fan.
Well, I'm wearing
Truthfully.
my duck hunting t-shirt for
Yeah.
Duck Hodges, who I don't think played one down this whole season, but anyway,
Yeah.
is
So
what it
now
is.
I just grabbed that and I thought, oh yeah, Mama will like to see this.
Both
So,
Pennsylvania. See, I've never been anti-Eagles.
yeah.
Not at all. Only if they're playing the Steelers. But I know a lot of Eagles fans that are like, boo-hoo, Steelers. And you know what? All of us are sitting on the sofa this week.
Yeah.
So who do
Yeah.
you think is taking it this week?
Tell me who's playing.
That's the same thing. I asked my wife the same thing earlier today. And my son, Jake, he's a big time sports nut. He's so into sports. He'll go into stats. He remembers plays from like 2008. I'm like, I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. What are you doing? Anyway, he said to Denise when she said, okay, who's playing? And we both pointed out, if it's not the Steelers, it doesn't matter. Yeah. But it's the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Well, you know what?
Tampa Bay has Tom Brady.
I know they do, but I'll tell you what, I think then I do remember that now. I like Kansas City.
Well, Andy Reid,
Andy Reid, he was a good guy here in Philadelphia. So
right.
I'd like to see him take it again.
So would
He
I,
won it
because
what, 3 years ago, I think, too, right? 2 years
last
ago?
year, yeah,
Was it
returning
last year?
champion. Yep, the returning
Okay.
champion. And I don't mind seeing Patrick Mahomes doing a few more State Farm commercials. That's
Yeah.
fine. I'm good with that. And here's the thing: you got Patrick Mahomes doing a State Farm commercial. You've got Aaron Rodgers from the Green Bay Packers doing a State Farm commercial. They switched up Jake from State Farm. Jake from State Farm used to be a fat, pudgy white guy. Now all of a sudden
Yeah.
he's a cool black guy who's also doing a commercial for Hyundai. All right, hey, Jake from State Farm, know your role. Okay, you don't see Flo from Progressive running around doing car commercials either. So slow your roll there, handsome. But actually, I hope he gets more work. I mean, whatever. But here's my point: never do you see Ben Roethlisberger doing commercials. You just don't. But he's a multiple award-winning Super Bowl champion too. And to that end, the only commercial I ever remember Tom Brady doing was some kind of pompous mattress spot where he walked through this hotel, and all these these super secret doors opened up, and it's just a mattress, and the guy goes, "Will this suffice, Mr. Brady?" And he said, yes it will. Okay, screw you, Tom Brady. I want Mahomes to win this thing.
Yeah, I do too. It's funny, you were just talking Progressive. We talked about that Dr. What's his name? Dr. Rick from Progressive now.
Oh, yeah.
Funniest commercials
Love
ever.
Love
because I was talking to my nephew this weekend, my nephew Blaze, and I said, I asked him for something, and I said, basically, you're Dr. Rick, because I'm the one that we're sitting having we go out to dinner or something, and I'm introducing myself to the waitress. Not everybody needs to know your name, Mary. Not everybody needs to know your name. Not everybody needs to know you got up early this morning, Mama. Not everybody needs to know. But we're constantly just that conversation type thing. But I needed some help with something. And I said to him, I go, you are Dr. Rick. He has to give him, nope, you don't have to do that.
How many of those live, laugh, love signs do you have in your apartment?
I don't have any.
Okay, but good. But behind you, it does look like you have butterfly wings. So you have some kind of a curtain or backdrop you put up, but there's words on there.
Sure there is. What
does it say?
And is it backwards to you?
No, I can see it, but it's dark. Do I fly is all I see.
Okay, so your wings already exist. All you have to do is fly. Just kind of a positive inspiration.
Look at you, positive.
I know. Well, that's me.
And behind me, there is a white wall with a light.
You need a green screen back there, and we'll put something up.
I used to have a bunch of plaques or something up there. We took them down. We're painting this whole room, and we're putting carpet in it. So now it's just a wall with a light.
Well, it's funny. I remember when you first bought that house, and you were putting that bar in, and it was the penny bar.
Yes.
Because remember, I used to have the camper up at Central, and we used to go to Jameson City, the Copper Penny Pub, and it was all the pennies.
That's what inspired me. I was like, if I ever build a bar in my house, I'm doing this. And I did. There's about $50 of pennies on this bar.
I'll go with you to PNC when you want to turn it in too. I'm a big one for taking my change here's another thing. I take my change to the bank just to run it through the machine. That's one of the most satisfying things to me, is pouring my bag of stuff in the machine. But then in years gone by, of course, living in Philadelphia, I used to have all these little bus tokens in there that'd be spewing out, and then I'd break a machine. They'd come yell at me. But I went to PNC a couple weeks ago, and I walked in with my big bag of money, and I said, where's your machine? She said, oh, we don't do that anymore. And they handed me a bunch of wrappers.
Are you serious?
I haven't wrapped coins. And I sat here the other night I watched 2 nights of Bridgerton wrapping pennies and nickels and dimes and quarters. And then of course you get to it that you don't have enough nickels to fill one. And now you're wrapping it up and rewrapping. Now I go around on the hunt for nickels just to fill this little thing up.
So, but why would they take out those machines?
I think too many people were trying to put SEPTA tokens in there. See, here, and breaking it.
In Harrisburg, we don't have mass transit like that. So unless you sneak in, a shilling or a Canadian quarter, you should be okay.
Well, I truly believe the SEPTA went to the like kind of card system because of me. And PNC removed all of the things. But
Mary
yeah,
McKenna
so
change it. So you're gonna have to pay for with Bitcoin if you want to if you want to do anything in Philadelphia in the next couple of years. It's gonna be all Bitcoin. Thanks, Mary.
yeah. Hey, we were talking, last week. I remember, well, I mentioned it last week, but we had talked to our bosses when we were in radio.
Mhm.
And I was going through that thing and I mentioned it to you that I had said to the bosses the last boss we had, that I will not do anything to embarrass my daughter on the air. So
Mhm.
just make sure when you're asking me to do something. And I was home. I was told you I was going through my attic and everything, cleaning some stuff out, and I find out one of my old business cards that one of my business cards from one of the bands I was in, and it was called and like what. I don't know if I needed to tell anybody not to embarrass me in any way. I think I was doing a pretty good job on my own. Mary McKenna and the Dingleberries, playing all your favorite Irish songs. And the bottom line is, I made this card.
But did you pick that because you like Dingle in Ireland,
Well,
the town of
right.
Dingle?
One of my favorite towns in Ireland is Dingle, and I go there every year. And of course, from Wilkes-Barre. So it was called the name of the band was the name of the band was DINGLE-BARRE.
Yeah.
Right. So just like that. But of course, I wasn't the Dingleberry. It was Mary McKenna and the Dingleberry. I made that point. But the fact that people would announce me, like I played on the stage with the Carrie dancers. My sister-in-law, Nancy, runs the Carrie dancers in Wilkes-Barre and an Irish dance group. And she said, hey, can you and the band open up for us? The big announcement, Mary McKenna and the Dingleberries, everybody. You go prancing out there. Flanagan, Milligan, Gilligan. Yeah, we start singing and dancing, but who was I kidding that? I would, I'm going to put myself up on a pedestal because you're not going to embarrass me. I'm going to be the ladylike person on this thing. Dear God, what was I saying?
You told me a story playing in Kirby Park, and I want to say it was about I think 4th of July, and you were singing Martina McBride's Independence Day.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you something. I'm glad now that we don't have so here's what happened. I was singing Kirby Park, 4th of July, probably 2000 and probably 1998.
Yeah, I was
my band Midnight Rodeo's playing, and I was doing Independence Day Martina McBride, and our friend Mark Moran from Citizens Voice is taking pictures throughout. So he gets down on one knee and shoots up at me with a huge flag like this that's flying behind me now with butterfly wings. There's an American flag, and he just thought it would be the best picture ever to have for our newspaper, with me singing and not me singing was the best picture, but the flag behind us, like it was commemorations like Kirby Park. Do you want me to tell this story?
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you're serious? You want me to tell this?
100%. 100%.
So here's what happened. So Mark takes the picture, and I'm sure it wasn't those days where you take a picture and 20 people look at it just to make sure y'all approve. That didn't happen then. Let me tell you that. I would think this was probably prior to cell phones.
So we're still using film here.
Oh, we're using film.
Film.
Let's pronounce that L and M. There's film being used. And so Mark takes his pictures and he goes about his day. And next thing you know, I get a phone call from Kevin, my husband. We weren't married at the time. So I get a phone call from him, and he says to me, Mare, have you seen the newspaper? This is waking up on the day after 4th of July festivities. He says, have you seen the newspaper? I said, no, what's wrong? He said, well,
immediately, no, what's wrong?
You could tell there was excitement and horror in his voice, like one of those, like, Mare, did you see the newspaper? It wasn't like, hey, Mare, did you see the newspaper? I think he was trying to get it out, and I was still in bed. And
but was his mindset like, Mary,
yeah,
did you see the newspaper? We've got to stop the presses. At that point,
presses.
What are you
presses
doing?
have already run. It was too late. This would have been one of those moments. So anyway, I said, no, what's going on? Oh, I hate even telling this. You know why? I hope I'm wrong on the year. because I don't want people looking it up on microfiche, on microfiche.
Microfiche. You'd have to make a special trip to the
Back
library.
to the
So
Oosterhout
far,
Library.
I don't
No, the
think they have the
Osterhout.
microfiche on the
Yeah.
interwebs, but maybe they do. By now,
No,
maybe
you
you
can
can.
look it up. I'll
Right.
guarantee it. So anyway, so here's what happens. I go and I said, "Why? What's wrong?" He goes, "Well, it's not a flattering picture of you." And I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "From the angle Mark took it, it, it I don't want to say it. Anyway, it was
What?
very bad. The angle was just you could see everything in my jeans area going up.
Oh, this,
And
you know what? Okay, hang on. This is not the story I was expecting to get.
oh no, you were waiting for the bug that flew in my mouth?
That's the one. That's what
Oh,
I
for
was
God's
expecting.
sakes.
I had no idea that we were going to get a camel toe story. I didn't know this. Is that what you were going with?
Well, yeah, because you know the other year a fly flew in the back of my mouth during a
Right.
song.
I thought you got stung. I thought you got stung in your
No,
mouth.
it just flew in the back of my mouth, and all of a sudden my mouth is open singing a song, and it flew in. But no, yeah, he
I got
had a
a
really bad
I got a
angle. But
bonus story here.
yeah, so here's what happens though. He says, "Well, this is not a flattering picture. You know, thank goodness there was some like rage going on in Wilkes-Barre that night that I did not make the front page. I made
Wow.
about 3 pages in." And he says, "Mary, you got to go down." So I went down to my front porch and got the paper, and I was devastated. So I woke my daughter up and I said, "You have got to go around to every house in Wilkes-Barre and get all of the newspapers off of the front porches." And this poor kid is just looking at me, you know, yeah, I wonder how she made it. But she's looking at me. "What, Mom?" I said, "Just go around and grab all the newspapers. I'll go down this way. I'll go up Chester Street. You go down that way and go up John Street, and we'll meet here." And so there's the two of us running around
So you
the
seriously went and collected all the newspapers?
you know what, Mama? In my in my attic right now, I have about 50 copies of that newspaper. I have 50 copies of that newspaper. So anyway, I changed my profile picture
Hmm.
to that picture, but I cropped it. And it's a very nice picture of me singing with the flag behind me, right?
But the
So
camel toe is missing.
doesn't our buddy Freddie, he puts this thing on Facebook and he says, "Mary," I didn't do it in Freddie's voice. "Mary, show us the whole picture, Mary." I
Wow.
ignored his comment. But yeah, so I do have about 50, 60 copies of that newspaper. And I thought to myself, all these people are going to be calling the Citizen's Voice. Hey, as the statute of limitations run out for me stealing newspapers?
I
I
think you're
just want to
good.
know that.
I think you're good.
So, yeah, that was crazy. That
I got
was
a bonus
crazy.
story. I did not know this story. The story I was going for was the bug flying down your throat.
No, this was a terrible one. And I really wish you would have given me the thumbs up of which story. We should talk prior to getting on instead of me jumping on a Zoom call and you go, "Ready to go?" Yep, I'm ready to go.
No, this is good
So
stuff. This is gold. This is the kind of stuff people want to hear. They don't want to hear, pre-canned, with a bunch of BS laughter and applause going, oh,
no.
nobody needs that.
You want my life. I thought to myself, I was out grabbing some stuff at Hun's Cafe 99 this weekend. And I said to somebody, they said they listened to the podcast. And I said, good. It's, we're getting there. I said, we just had one show that we didn't even know that it was going to be a show that he had to cut up into 3. But I said, we'll get there. And then they said, you need outtakes and stuff like that. And I said, but that's the funny part of it. Like they want us to, like they said, when you end the show, you need a song going out. You need a song coming in, like you mentioned today about that.
Yeah.
So we'll work on that stuff. But it was funny. Just, and I said, also, I'd like to write into my contract when we ever do write a contract. Yeah, contract that I would like a crew to follow me around just to monitor my antics. Right now, they'd be just sitting in my living room all day with me. And that would not go far because they wouldn't put up with my shit here.
Well,
But
it's funny because you've gotten, I mean, this past week you've gotten into something because when I reached out to you to say, hey, when do you want to do the next one? We got into a phone tag kind of thing. And you called me back and I was in the beer store and you're like, oh, that's funny. I just got done drinking a bunch of beers around a campfire. And it's Pennsylvania, it's the Northeast. So 1 minute it's sunshine and stars outside standing around a campfire. And the next minute we're elbow deep in snow.
Yeah.
And suddenly the media thinks, oh my God, it's, Armageddon. It's climate change. Give me a break. So, I mean, so you were out this week and hanging out with some friends, probably some, closest friends that you've had forever. So, did anybody go to the hospital, or did anybody get arrested?
No.
So
I
this
are
was a
you're surprised at this, huh? Because I guess I am too. No, no, I don't expect that at all. Everybody was pretty calm. Like I said, it was a drive-by baby shower, but we stopped because they had a campfire out and they were welcoming people. They had coolers of beer
okay. Hang on.
and go
Was
ahead.
was the so I've seen these drive-by parties, birthday parties, baby showers,
Yep.
at retirement parties. We had a guy down here in Harrisburg, who's one of our local anchor people on our CBS affiliate. Who the guy looks like he's in great shape. Had a heart attack, a massive heart attack, and
Yeah.
rehabilitated himself. So everybody drove past his house, which I don't know if he wanted anybody to know where he lived, but now we all know, Rob. So there you go, buddy. Um, so I've seen those things, but your drive-by ends with a campfire.
Well, yeah.
Was
So the
anybody in the
parents,
cul-de-sac sitting in the middle of the?
no, they actually it was really funny because it was in Plains, the Hudson section of Plains there. And it was right out in the main street, and they had a fire going in their front yard with a truck full of wood. They had the front porch all lined up with just baby things. It's for my friends Mike and Jana Lewandowski. And their baby's due in March, and everybody was coming by, just they're throwing diapers out or they're running up to the car, and everybody's wishing them well. But I saw beer. I said, "Hey, do you mind if I stop for a bit?" But that was the open thing. Everybody was welcome to stop, and everybody knows each other's comfortableness of, but nobody was on top of each other, and everybody just stood around just talking. And it was all about, I'm a music lover, and so it was all about the music playing, and the sun was on us, the fire was going, but once that sun went down, we had to go, and that's when you heard from me. That's when I returned your
Mm,
call.
yeah.
Yeah.
Once it got dark, then all of a sudden Mary's returning my call. And she's like, why isn't this guy picking up? Because I'm in the beer cooler, stocking up, getting myself a 36 pack just because it's going to be a long, lonely weekend. I don't care if it's sunny on Saturday. It's going to be elbow deep into snow on by
Oh
Tuesday
yeah.
anyway. Crazy.
Yeah, this is still coming. So, hey, well, listen to this though. My brother lives out in Lake Tahoe. He got 9 feet of snow last week.
That's right. I saw a report. There was a woman who opened up her front door and she's like, we went to bed and they called for a blizzard. And we've been coming here for 36 years. We opened the door. You can't get out.
Yeah.
It's almost one of those, you've seen them before where you open the door and it's just a wall of snow. That's what happened. So what happens to somebody's house? Do you have air vents and like ventilation? Couldn't they have suffocated in carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide. I don't know. And he said they're accounting for 11 to 12 up in the higher elevations. So, but 9 feet of snow, and they were getting 4 to 5 inches an hour at one point.
Good
So
God.
I know, but see, I would love that. I said to him, if I really thought about this, I should just go out there and stay with him and do my shows from out there now.
I wouldn't mind that as long as I had a flamethrower on me,
Yeah.
because that way I could just burrow a tunnel right through and I'd be fine with it. I don't mind snow as long as I can get from point A to point B. And then you can ski and sled and have snowball fights and build snowmen, and that's all good. But I need to get from here to the beer store and back.
Is that the only location?
At this point, yeah, because I can do everything else for my job from where I'm standing right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, from here to the beer store and back, or I'll make a path for the beer store people to get to me. And I'm good with that because I don't make my own beer yet. I don't know how to do it. And I need to learn.
You should try. I'll tell you what, though, we got our friend Tony one of those beer making kits years ago. And when this was prior to like Susquehanna Brewing Company up in Wilkes-Barre or Breaker Brewing Company. Now they're all over the place. But this was prior to that. And we got him one of these little kits that comes in a barrel and you ferment it for a while. And apparently he was keeping it in his bedroom doing it. And he said his bedroom just smelled horrible. And
are you making meth up in here? Are you Walter White? What's going on?
But I did try the beer and it was actually very good. But and I'm not an IPA person or things like that. And I don't know what makes it an IPA or what doesn't. I'm a big I like wheat beers and I like ciders and everything too.
IPA is an Indian pale ale. So I guess as long as somebody smokes a peace pipe over it.
Is that what it is?
That's you got the Indians and you got the pale face, and then they come together almost like kumbaya stuff, and then suddenly it's an IPA.
Because I just don't like those tastes. Now my daughter likes those. She's a big IPA person. I don't know what it takes. What's that? A gene? Oh no, there you go. What genes that make you don't like something? I hate cilantro.
Oh, me too.
jumping all over the place here. But when I think about something, I hate cilantro and I can't get that through to people. Like when I'm in a restaurant going, does it have cilantro in it? Because if it does, if you can do it, not put it on top or put it in, yeah. So I have to stay away from all that food. You're going to play that song again, aren't you? I see
Well,
that.
this is our play out song, because rather than chop everything up, we're at pretty much a half an hour right now.
Okay.
So you're the musician. You need to come up with something. I'm an
All
idiot.
right. And I will get our old song so we can pop that in every once in a while. That's always good to hear. All right.
Thank
then.
you for
I gotta
listening
go.
to the Momma McKenna show. Mary has to go. We'll do this again. So thanks so much. And okay.
All right,
bye.
Mama. Nice talking to you.